This is 20 things the rich do every day that poor people don't do. Definitions: rich people, people who are in the top 20% of income earners. Poor people, people who are in the bottom 20% of income earners. So this is separated out by quintile. But number one, 70% of wealthy eat less than 300 junk food calories per day. 97% of poor people eat more than 300 junk food calories a day. I'm not sure if I passed that one, Gregory. I might be on the poor side of that one.
Oh, no, we had dinner last night, and you know what happens at a restaurant a lot of the time? Oh, did you save some room for dessert? No. I had asparagus and a filet. No, I did not save any room. You know where you probably should have dessert if you're wanting it? First.
Mm-hmm.
You know, give me some of that cheesecake for appetizer and then bring the entree. But I don't do that either. I just, when you're working out as well, when you start, like, get on that elliptical machine and then do some weights, or you're out doing some jogging or working out with a trainer, and what you have to go through, and like on the elliptical, I see how many calories I burn and how hard it is. I'm like, dessert? That's going to kill what I had to do this morning.
Yeah, when you realize that drinking a Dr. Pepper is 75 minutes on an elliptical, you might just get a glass of water.
Yeah, that is part of it, and that's even when they bring out the bread. Would you like some bread? No, don't bring it to my... You know what's going to happen if it comes to your table with some warm bread and butter?
I'm going to have to eat the whole thing.
Yeah, don't bring the bread, and I'm not going to order dessert.
All right, do the second half of that first one.
Okay, 23% of wealthy gamble. 52% of poor people gamble. Wealthy people don't have to gamble because they're wealthy. They may have some fun with it, but it isn't like, oh, I've got to cash in tonight.
Mm-hmm.
The poor, why more than half, is they're walking in there wanting to hit it. And that's where the casinos make most of their money. Look, we were in Bahamas at Atlantis, and the kids were with us, and I was kind of explaining this place isn't built on you winning, because they're 20 and over there 18 you can gamble. And they were like, blackjack was going all of a sudden, they switched dealers, and I lost what I won. I said, well, yeah, this place was built on people coming in here and losing money, not winning. The odds are always in favor of the casino. And if you're sitting down at a slot, you don't know what the odds are or when that computer chip says it's going to hit. You don't know. But if you're going to buy a stock, you could gamble and do the penny stocks, and I need to hit a big one. I need that one 8-cent one to go to $1 this year. Or you can do it methodically. Make sure you have good fundamentals, the technical's right, find the right buy spot, buy, and diversify that 1,000 so you don't, what if that one decision goes wrong? Because every one of them aren't going to go right. So let's do things where it's in our favor to win.
Well, that doesn't sound like gambling at all.
No, it's not.
All right. Number two, 80% of wealthy are focused on accomplishing some single goal. Only 12% of the poor do this. I think we both passed that one with flying colors.
Yeah, even though I have to accomplish more than a single goal every day, but you have a focus on what you've got to do and get it done.
Yeah, we have the long-term goal, and then we have all the little intermediate goals that lead up to that one working too. Number three, Gregory?
76% of the wealthy exercise aerobically 4 days a week. 23% of the poor do this. And it's not easy. You know what it takes? It takes time. It takes getting up earlier. It takes discomfort. First off, part of it, you have to add time to your day, and that's something that we seem to talk about lately is how do you find more time? Oh, well, I'm too busy. Well, then find some time. I'm busy. What do? I find extra time in the morning. Get up earlier. Stacy, my wife, and I was talking about this the other day. She said, God, it's so hard. I said, yeah, it is. But that's what you got to push through. Once you push through it, okay, you're up and going. And then you got to do I got to go exercise. It's not going to be any fun. Yeah, but then once you get adjusted to those two things, you're going to feel better the rest of every day. You're going to have a better quality of life and live longer. That's my thoughts.
But I'm so lazy.
And you're not so different from that as well. You understand that is the difference is, well, I don't have time. Well, you have to get up earlier.
Yes.
I can't work out in the evening. Heck, I don't get off to 8 o'clock when the show ends.
Right.
So I have to find my time in the morning, not in the evening.
If I have one secret piece of advice, it's figure out a way to work out at home. I have a weight bench. I have some dumbbells, and I can go out to my back patio that's covered, so even if it's raining, I just had to make it as convenient for myself as possible, or I will make excuses. Number 4. 63% of wealthy listen to audiobooks during the commute to work versus 5% for poor people. Ooh.
I don't have but a 10-minute commute. Now, I could go back, 15 years ago? Yeah, my commute could be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, depending upon traffic. What I find is trying to set aside, besides doing the workout, but setting aside time in the morning to read. Get some reading time in. And I've done that for a long time. And it's just like, how do you know all this stuff? Well, I read every day. And like Sunday, I'm probably putting a few hours into that.
I think a technologically updated way to state this, or something that I do that would fit this, is I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube that's educational. I watch history professors or some guy in an economics forum.
Right. The whole world's different because of that, because you can watch videos, you can go online, you could Google stuff, but audiobooks, like was mentioned here, is pretty cool, especially if you're committed to drive in a car and going to be there for 30 minutes or so. Imagine the content you can absorb every day. So listen to that rock and roll.
Hey,
how about listening to something that's going to help you be better?
And it's perfect for road trips. Next, number 6, 63% of wealthy parents make their children read 2 or more nonfiction books a month, versus 3% for the poor. What is going on in poor households? I read a book if you want. If not, I don't care. 97% of poor parents don't care?
Look, it's not, and I can tell you, it's not easy to do. But you know how you train them to enjoy books? Is do it when they're young. That they find out there's something pretty awesome there in the binder of that book, instead of like, I don't want to do that. I can just jump on a video game there. And it's something you have to train them to do and encourage and reward them. I don't know. Does schools still do that, James? You've got a few going up through there. Do they have like some reading that they do or whatever? Remember my youngest, I remember in upper elementary, is probably 6th grade, 7 or something, and they had this program where if they would read so many books a month, you would get this reward. Well, David would just always knock that out, and then he would stop reading. So I had to talk to the teacher. I said, you got to up this, because actually he can read more. He just stops because your goals aren't high enough. Everybody, why is he so smart? He reads all the time.
Yeah, how does he have all that stuff in his head? Because he put it there.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of this also is being a good example. You know, if you have poor parents, there's a good chance that they themselves don't read, so the kids don't grow up watching, hey, there's dad on the chair just reading again. If you see your parents reading, that normalizes it too. You know, it's not a foreign concept. So it's interesting how much reading and self-improvement keep showing up over and over in this list. Next one, another parental note.
70% of wealthy parents make their children volunteer 10 hours or more a month versus 3% for the poor. Well, with David and the triplets, the school system, they went through kind of pushed that. And actually, they probably put, and when you say 10 hours a month, maybe it wasn't quite 10 hours, but there was a focus that they had to accomplish that through the year. I don't have a problem with that. That was not something I monitored a lot, but it is non-sports, extracurricular stuff. I would kind of add into that mix to do something besides go home and do the TV or video games.
I think our church is a great influence because they focus so much on volunteering and helping out the community. So my kids will put together little homeless packs. We go get some sundries for homeless people, and you put it out, and we make like 10 little packs, and we give them to the church, and they give them out to the homeless people. But they see us doing that, and they're kind of getting in the volunteering habit as well.
And one of the things, regardless of your community, if you have food banks, it's an easy place. You say, well, I can't really donate. We're not talking about donate. Help them go box the stuff up and deliver it. That's easy stuff to do.
You know what they make kids do at the food bank? Whenever you don't have can drive and people donate, someone has to go and look at all the expiration dates and take out the stuff that's expired or about
there
to
is
expire.
work to do.
Yeah, that's what they
all
make
need that help.
Now here's an interesting one. Number 8, 80% of wealthy make happy birthday calls versus 11% for the poor. Now this doesn't even touch the financial world. This is all about interpersonal, being a good human being, basically. You know, this is kind of like the volunteering and the charity. This is happy birthday calls, Gregory.
I can't say I do that, James.
I can't say I do either. All right, well, we failed that one.
But look, maybe that is going on. It is something to think about and give a positive touch. You know, we like doing birthday cards, and we always get comments on that. You ever get a birthday card?
No.
Outside of me?
I get one from my mom and one from my church.
Yeah. And it might be an email or video. We have other ways of doing it today besides the phone call. And I just don't have the time to do that. But there's other ways to make people feel special and those that are important to you, but expand your circle of those that you reach out to in some way.
Well, I think this is sort of a tangent to networking. How many of your business opportunities or your personal professional opportunities come from maintaining a network of people and staying in touch with people and being personable and staying on a first name basis, and next time there's an opportunity, oh yeah, the Parker, I remember him, he just gave me a happy birthday last month. You know, these little things add up. Number 9, Gregory.
67% of wealthy write down their goals versus 17% for the poor.
All right.
And that's kind of a thing we do every year. And we'll review and update those as well. And, you know, what is the goal? But what's your stretch on a goal? And for me, you know, it is business related. How are we going to grow the business, and what are we trying to reach, and such as that. And it might be with you a personal savings goal or to get out of debt, but set some goals that you try to reach. If you miss, okay, readjust and go at it again. You've got to have a target. If you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? That's one of my favorite sayings. If you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there?
All right, the next one. 88% of wealthy read 30 minutes or more each day for education or career reasons versus 2% for the poor. Is this the biggest spread that we have on the sheet here?
This is it. This is the big spread. Actually, we had touched on it a few days back when we were talking about doing this again because
Oh,
of
we
all the
talked about this
requests that we
Monday.
had.
Yeah.
You know, what's the biggest and it's the reading. I touched on it up here on the audio book.
Yep.
There is putting some reading time in every day. Yeah, if you wanted to focus that on something, you know, I'll use investing. What if you did that 30 minutes every day for 5 years, focusing on a topic? You'd probably become one of the foremost authorities on it. If you think about that, 365 days a year for 5 years. You will, whatever it is you're in, you'll probably become one of the foremost authorities on that, because that's how rarely it's done.
And it's so easy these days with the internet. I mean, it must have been a hustle just 30 years ago. The constant self-improvement, because you're having to constantly get books and magazines and pamphlets and these little binders that you show up with from the conventions.
Hey, I think that number 10 might be, if I had to list on what's the most valuable out of that,
Number 10.
besides fitness comes second, but number 10 would be first.
Well, number 11's
And we're not trying an order here like, oh, number one thing to do, the rich do, is not eat junk food. I don't know that we have an order here. We just have a list.
number 11's a little bizarre, though. 6% of wealthy say what's on their mind versus 69% of the poor. How do you even quantify that?
I can tell you, don't always say what's on your mind. People are getting in trouble with Twitter on that and other subjects, and sometimes conversations. Maybe that second glass of wine, you were a little too free with the tongue and said something you shouldn't have.
Yeah, Roseanne.
But think about what you're going to say. Are you adding value? Or are you taking it away? Are you making a comment in a group thinking you're funny, talking about somebody? Don't bring people down. Help lift up, and be careful what you say. Be thought of more as a positive person and not a negative. What we can always gripe, but who cares?
Yeah, it's funny in the moment, but if you are perceived as the negative guy, or you tick somebody off, or I don't know, maybe you make the claim on Twitter that you have the money for a leverage buyout option on Tesla, and you don't. You know, maybe you just shouldn't say it out loud.
You don't always have to say what you're thinking.
All right, this is another good one on 12. This one totally makes sense.
79% of wealthy network 5 hours or more each month versus 16% of the poor.
I believe that one.
I believe that one, and I'd say, yeah, I do that.
Oh,
every month.
We definitely kill that. We're on number 13. 67% of wealthy watch 1 hour or less of TV every day versus 23% for the poor. Now, we need to put some caveats on this one, don't we?
I watch more than an hour of business news and talk every day. Throughout the week, there's some recorded shows I'll watch here and there, and then sometimes I don't watch any, but I'm putting in probably a couple hours a day. But I'm going about my morning routine and my evening routine. It's just my TV's on business, and it kind of plays all the time. My pet that stays home alone during the day is listening. My dog's blind, so I'll have to say, otherwise she'd sit there on the couch and watch.
She's just listening to
But she's listening to business news all day, because that's what the TV stays on.
And she's keeping up with all the great stock tips as
Yeah,
well.
so that's the caveat, because otherwise I don't have time for daily sitcoms and stuff.
Right?
And how's that going to help me get better?
Okay, go to number 14 then, because this is a no-brainer.
6% of wealthy watch reality TV versus 78% of the poor.
You watch any reality TV?
None. You know, look, I don't know if that Gold show with Parker, Gold Rush,
Oh yeah,
or whatever,
Yukon
on
Gold
Friday.
or whatever.
Yeah, but that's
kinda
not
counts.
like it's taped and recorded, but it's about this to me, there's a number of characters on the show, but it's about this 19-year-old kid that's been in the gold mining business since he was a kid, and his grandfather taught him, and now he mines and pulls in millions of dollars worth of gold. But it's more, I see it from more of a business perspective than, and I don't, it's not reality. Like, it's not happening at the moment. That happened 6-8 months ago, and they put it together. But to watch somebody in a house in L.A. or somebody in a jungle somewhere else compete for something, I don't do that.
Well, let it be known then. Let's put the note down that the one reality show that you do watch is more cerebral than most, because you've got that versus the Jersey Shore or the Kardashians is what most people think of with reality shows.
Oh, those are real. I didn't even think of those. Well, I was thinking about some island contest.
Survivor, that counts.
That's it, yeah. Because I'd seen that years ago.
Well, I know another. It technically counts as a reality show, but you watch it, and that's the car auction shows. You'll watch that. Doesn't that kind of count as reality TV, or not really? Let's just say not really.
No, that goes to business again. It's an auction, prices, bidding. It's like a negotiation, learning skills.
All right, now here's a tough one. 44% of wealthy wake up 3 hours before their work starts versus 3% for the poor.
That's pretty much me.
Yeah, that almost fits you perfect. I've kind of been ruined in that regard because for a big chunk of my career, I was on a morning show on the radio. I'm not waking up 3 hours before a 5 a.m.
If you got to be on air at 5 a.m., you're waking
up at 2?
No.
Yeah, what am I, a vampire now? So, but on a day like today,
that goes to the time to get your workout in, check out the business news in the morning. Look, I woke up at 5:30 this morning, and what happens? I grab the remote, hit the power button, and what instantly comes on? The business channel. My TVs know if you pop a screen on, it's going to a business channel, and that's where my day starts every day, is what's going on, what's the futures, what's the discussion this morning.
But the general behavior here is if you're a person who likes to sleep in till the last minute possible, that is not a successful behavior trait. That is the lesson.
We know a lot of people
like that. That was
do.
Me until I was about 25, until I just decided to be an adult, really. You didn't know me before 25.
Hop out of bed. Oh, I think I've got just not time, throw my clothes on, grab a coffee, spilling it as I go out the door, get in my car and make it to work right before the bell ticks.
Right as the bell ticks. I had it mastered. Not anymore, though. All right, do number 16 then.
74% of wealthy teach good daily success habits to their children versus 1% for the poor.
1%. This is the only time 1% shows up on the list.
I'll tell you, the kids don't always want to hear it.
No, they never want to hear it.
Kind of like, hey, this is why we do this. And part of that is the sleeping in thing. Gosh, you're wasting so much time in the morning.
Well, and a lot of it starts with...
But were we so different as teenagers and young adults necessarily?
I mean, it depends, because my sister was so good. Like, she would wake up and make her bed, Gregory. Who's even heard of such a thing? And I never did. My mom told me to do it every day. But my sister has some kids where one of them will wake up and make his bed. Exact same parents in the exact same house. Her other two kids don't. Their room looks like a tornado at all times.
Gosh, I kind of did do that. And then, of course, I was in the Army at 18 as well.
That might have done me some good.
Yeah.
Do you make your bed every day?
Now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pulled and straightened.
There you go. That's Miss Parker's job.
Now, there's some more dressing it up. I'm not the pillow everywhere, but Stacy likes it all to be. Then she'll come back behind me and start straightening it.
Well, that's her thing.
And then the pillows go in place. And then in the evening, I'm tossing the pillows.
All 28 of them? When you were single, before you got married and you didn't have a girlfriend or anything, how many pillows were on your bed? 2?
2.
Yeah. Something about being married. You get 28 pillows on your bed now. All right, number 17. 84% of wealthy believe good habits create opportunity and luck versus 4% of the poor.
somebody, we were having a conversation, I think it was email or something a little while back, and Stacy responded because somebody said good luck, and Stacy responded back, it has nothing to do with luck, what we do. We work hard for it. We work hard at our opportunities. And what does it create, though?
Luck.
You know, if
the
that's
appearance
what,
of luck.
but they weren't meaning good luck without or whatever, and it has nothing to do with luck.
Mm-hmm.
We work hard. Everybody, you know, they might say, well, Gregory, you're just, whatever you do, it turns to go. What, you're so lucky. No. It's hard work, and you don't know the path that I went down to get here. And I don't have discussions, and I don't tell people that. And it's just think whatever they want, but I know the road I went down and how hard it is. And if I have luck, I created it.
All right, we're on number 18 now.
Okay, we are going to get through this tonight. 76% of wealthy believe bad habits create detrimental luck versus 9% for the poor. Well, I don't know about bad luck, but I just don't like doing bad things consistently.
See, you would think more
habits. It's like, to me, that's like drinking soda, smoking cigarettes. Smoking cigarettes going to kill you, so that's just a horrible habit. And I'm sorry if I stepped on your toe, but did you read the side of the packet? Okay, sugar, too much sugar, especially people are diabetic. Do you want to become diabetic? Your body doesn't deal well with too much sugar, and it doesn't do well with the fake stuff as well. Maybe you need to do some of your morning reading on that of how to be better. So that's kind of what I think of bad habits.
See, and I think that's the obvious ones. I think the ones that's really weighing people down is the small bad habits. And by the small bad habits, I mean not skipping dessert, or not being nice to that person that you hate at work, or not letting the other person go first when you're in a four-way stop sign. You know, being a jerk and things like that.
Letting others go or opening the door. You go ahead. I'm good. Saying hi to people. I say hi to people all day long. I pass them. I'm going, hey. But you know what I do notice, and I do it anyhow, is they don't say anything back. There's some people I say it to a few times a week, and you know what I get? Nothing. Oh, they just look.
Not even the up nod? That's what dudes do. They do the up nod.
Oh, no. There's none of that. There's like, it's weird. But I've just always been that way. Hey, how's it going? But then, but it's the regular one. And I keep doing it. I don't like, he's not nice or she's not nice. I'm not going to say it. I still do it. It's a natural thing that I do. That's a positive habit. I think it's bad habits when you don't acknowledge it. What's wrong with saying hi back? Hey.
Yeah,
we're doing that's a positive thing I'm doing for you. Give me something back.
And there's no way of quantifying this, but I think 1,000 little bad habits like that sink people more than they realize.
86% of wealthy believe in lifelong educational self-improvement versus 5% of the poor.
Yeah, that one we can't put a stinger on that one loud enough.
Yeah, that's probably the next widest gap besides the 30 minutes of reading.
That is the second
every day. And that's just since college. I've been on this self-improvement kick ever since. How do I be a better person?
You know,
I probably would be a real total jerk and wouldn't doing this job if I wasn't thinking about self-improvement for the past,
30 years?
40
years?
Yeah.
Well, I think about it a little different here because I think the college system is outdated. Have I said this on the show before? To where when you grow up, if you want to have a profession, you just learn the profession and you do it the rest of your life. But you know, we're past the year 2000 by quite a big clip here. You learn everything you learn in college, and in 10 years, that's obsolete. You have to keep learning the equivalent of a bachelor's degree.
I tell people, you think college was it? I finished with school, and that's where the learning started.
Amen.
I'm telling you, if I was resting on those laurels, I'd be a loser.
Number 20, 86% of wealthy love to read versus 26% of
there it
the
is
poor.
again.
Yeah, that's the big one, too. Huge spread. And look, I'm so grateful. My oldest kid, he's about to turn 8. He loves to read because he figured out, man, there's all kinds of stuff in here, in these books.
Yeah, look, we could do something simple as Jurassic Park. Go watch that first movie and then read the book. Oh, my gosh. It just is unbelievable difference, meaning the book has so much more. And that goes for anything.
It's funny you said that because I read the book before I saw Jurassic Park, the movie.
And I thought, a disappointment.
It was a little bit. All right, you're home away from the show, winningatlife.com and the Winning at Life app. If you need the services of financial advisor, I recommend GregoryRicks.com, 504-832-9200. See you tomorrow.
Winning at Life with Gregory Ricks is a copyright of Down South Productions for the private use of our audience. Gregory Ricks is an investment advisor representative with Global Financial Private Capital. Any unauthorized use of this broadcast without expressed consent is prohibited. Find show contact information and podcasts in the Winning at Life app.
Investment advisory representative through Global Financial Private Capital. 504-832-9200.